Hey everybody, welcome to the 1804 show. I'm your host, Dollar Will, and thank you for joining me on this lovely evening. Yeah, we got a special guest tonight. Man, we keep losing legends, man, in this music rap game. Rest in peace to Shock G from Digital Underground. You know, I'm just sick. I'm sick of this, man. I'm so sick of seeing so many of our legends pass, just back to back to back. Man, you know, it just, when you just seeing people pass, it just makes you appreciate life some more. Make you appreciate peace and tranquility. Because I just tell people all the time that no matter what you go through, you only get one life, man. You're responsible for your own life, and you got to enjoy it. You know, you got to live life to the fullest. Can't let nothing stress you out. You know, and people want to go, let them go. Shoot, you still got the best years of your life coming. Never get too attached to people, man. You know, I wish I would beg somebody to stay or beg somebody to don't go, don't leave. Man, fuck that. But yeah, how everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody good. Hope y'all can hear me. Okay, we on. But yeah, you know, it's just really important, man, just to, you know, live your life. You know, everybody isn't meant to stay. Everybody can go and everybody won't go. You know, like I said, everybody think that this George Floyd decision matters and stuff like that. But hey, they still letting us know that they're trying to keep us in our place. You know, I tell people this all the time, like, you know, y'all gotta quit falling for the okie doke. They know how to get into our emotions. It just seems like when it comes to us or whatever, we keep falling for it. You know, we so quick to kill each other. We so quick to threaten each other. But George Zimmerman still walking around here freely, can go anywhere he want to go. But yet, you know what I'm saying, we carry out hits against us. And I tell people this all the time, like, there's so many people that want me gone. There's so many people that want me dead that looks like me. You know, that's my own brother and sister. Want to ruin my life, you know? But yet, we let these white supremacists run amok. And that's not fair to me. I feel like that's hypocritical. But, you know, I don't care who against me. Because something happened to me. Hey, I have a legacy. You know, I'm going to be remembered for many years to come. So I don't care about any of that shit. But all I care about was the fact that I made a difference for my people and made a difference for everybody who had a dream and wanted to do something and wanted to accomplish something. That's all I care about at the end of the day. I don't care about nothing else besides what I done, you know, the mark I left on this world and on this planet and what I left in people's hearts. That's all I care about. And minds. That's all I care about. But yeah, I'm going to call her in here. You know, she's so cool. You know, I've been knowing her for years and never changed, never switched. And that's why I be telling people, man, it seems like the females is more realer than the niggas nowadays. Females never switch up. Females solid. If they like you or if that's just your friend, they always there for you. They your ride or dies. You know, that's why you never see me taking pictures with a whole bunch of niggas, man, because niggas are snakes. Niggas would want to kill you. They want your spot. They jealous. So, if anything, like, I appreciate not just my male friends, but my female friends. And she has been a good friend to me. Well, we gonna get her in here. Hey, everybody. Make sure y'all like, comment, share. And to my YouTube people, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. So, whew. But yeah, we're gonna make sure that we have a good episode. You know, it's been kind of like some technical difficulties lately, but hey, you know, we keep it going over here. It don't stop. I just hope everybody having a good day and a good night. Hope everybody's safe. Mm. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm really tired. I'm so sleepy. But hey, there's no day off when you're trying to get your life together. Let's see. Hey Donna, we're gonna add you in here, girl. But yes, here's my guest. Good evening.
What you doing?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm here.
oh, nothing. I'm just chilling.
Not much, very much. How you been today?
Uh, I've been all right. Just it's been a little tug of war a little bit, but I couldn't wait to start this episode today. You know, been waiting on this. So
I don't know if you want to talk to me.
yeah, I mean, so why not? You know, they always talk about that I'll be having a lot of women, or they always talk about, well, you know, you gotta be, you know, diverse with your show, and we like to hear from the ladies as well. But you know, and I'm like, have y'all even seen my show? Like, I don't just talk to guys. Like,
They don't watch because I've seen a lot of women on here, a lot of good women, educated, respectful women. So, I mean, I haven't seen anything different. So, I think you're doing.
yeah, I think when it comes to when I have female episodes, I feel like that's when my best come out to me. Like, cause you know, I gotta represent for the fellas, you know, cause you know we get scrutinized way too much, but you know, it's just not all of us be on domestic behavior. You know, it's a lot of free thinkers. You know, a lot of guys that is pushing for a better life. You know what I'm saying? So I want to represent that. But the other dudes who's, you know, destructive, you know, I can't speak on them, but I represent the guys that's doing something. You know, the underdog, because
Mm-hmm.
I've always been an underdog since I was, you know, my existence on this planet. I
Mm-hmm.
always was counted out, but I'm not gonna talk about me so much. You know, we here to talk about you.
No, no, I don't know about that though. Underdog. What's the underdog? It's just a. What is it to be an underdog? You learn and growing, and I don't know if it's beyond.
Yeah, I mean, I just always was just the type of person that I had to just work twice as hard because number one, I'm you know I'm dark, so they say the darker you are, the harder your problems. But you know, I ain't gonna say I'm dark, but I'm chocolate, and so I had to work twice as hard, and I had to just because I'm not college educated, but I am going to school now. But I was just really discouraged because I felt like I would be so far, you know, beyond where I'm at now, but I just didn't have the support system. So I had to, you know, survive. And a lot of us are surviving more than we are living,
Living.
and which is not fair. But I feel like it builds character.
It definitely does. When you have to face adversity, it builds up a certain aspect within yourself that makes you be able to maneuver through life a little bit more, a lot better than someone that hasn't had to face it. Look at that, and I talk about that, like when we think about like students from Saginaw High School, like we graduate from there or whatever, and people say a lot of stuff about students or people, kids that came from Saginaw High School, but I think like when you have to face adversity through living through good and living through certain situations, and then going to school where you know education isn't a priority, and some people really don't care about students. Like you have to find a way to maneuver through that, and I want something better. I want to do something better. I want to show my friends, family, everybody else better. You just it does build character. It does, and it takes a special person to be able to um, take that and run with it.
No doubt, no doubt. But first of all, how about you introduce yourself and where you're from and just you know your occupation and stuff like that.
Oh, y'all don't want to know nothing about me. No. Well, I'm Shadonna Wallace. Um, Born and raised in Saginaw, Michigan. Lived there pretty much my entire life until I moved to Texas 6 years ago in 2015. Um, I had my associate's degree in business management, my bachelor's degree in human resource management, which is what I'm currently working in, the field I'm working in now, human resources. And I am also working on getting my master's degree right now, um, in to be a licensed professional counselor. So to be a therapist and talk to other people about their issues.
Ooh, man, you too smart for me. I was just joking. Ooh, well, let me try to use.
Shout
I gotta use
out
some.
Wesley.
I gotta use some Ti words tonight. On here. I'm just playing, but
Mm-mm. Like I might be forgetting stuff. I'm like, I know the word, but I can't remember it. So we good. Like we gonna be good.
yeah. Like I said, I just really was excited about this because we known each other for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and I just really always admire just your aura. Just because you was just like one of those people, like when I first met you and stuff like that. Like you didn't treat me mean. Like you acknowledge me as a person, and I always appreciated that because usually when girls are pretty or well kept and this and that, they can have a little shallowness to them, little big head to them, and I've just always been like I ain't gonna say friendly, but I always been easily approachable, and I just love people. It just took me a minute for myself to get out of my shyness, but I'm just a loving person, and
Yeah.
I love my black people, especially my sisters, because I grew up with women. So I just always been comfortable and in tune with y'all, and just people don't know that about me. They just think because will uplift a woman, they just like, oh, he must be, they must be messing around and this and that. I'm like, no, like, can we just
People
love each other?
that,
Can we just appreciate
like you can be friends with the opposite sex and there be absolutely nothing sexual or anything like that. And that really be frustrating me with people. Like people can be friends and can appreciate. That's it's a part of human connection and human interaction. Like you know you could be friends with people and want them to win, want to see them succeed, and it be nothing sexual. And that's even like I always say this, like people, you can get into relationships with people and they'll be jealous, like, oh, you can't have male friends or you can't have female friends, but just as much as you could be sleeping with somebody of the opposite sex, you could be messing around with somebody with the same sex. Like you could be like, so you ain't scared of this friend over here, but you scared of me having this male friend over here. And I could just be, and I'm not, but you could be having intercourse with the same sex and be cheating just as well. So like, if you're gonna be jealous about that, then you need to tell me not to have nobody. Don't have no friends, because I could be doing whatever I want to do with whoever I want to do it with. You either gonna trust me or you're not. So I just think that, having friends of the opposite sex is, if that's what you have and it's genuine, and that could be a beautiful, beautiful friendship, because you can get perspectives from somebody that genuinely cares about you, but also thinks differently.
I agree, because a lot of people, just would think like you got to love a person by agreeing with everything. Because I don't agree with everything that my friends does, and they damn sure don't agree with me. But it just, to me, I feel like when it comes to a friendship, they should appreciate and embrace both sides of you, not just one side, but both sides. And it's difficult because a lot of times when you have those type of bonds with people, they only around when you're up, but when you're down, they just, will cross-examine you. And to me, I feel like that's not fair. That's not right, because we all have problems. We all go
Mm-hmm.
through some type of scrutiny and, being scathed in a way. But it just, certain people just only want to be around you when it's beneficial, and I never been like that.
Yeah,
Because if anything, if I ever done something for people, I never wanted anything in return. But I was fooled into thinking that everybody had a good heart like me, and that's not the case. Every,
definitely not.
everyone isn't built like you. So,
Mhm. But yeah, and when I think about things like that, for me, it's like, yeah, I don't really too much think about what somebody else's heart or intentions are. You know, I really only focus on myself and what I'm like. If I do something for somebody and that's out of the goodness of my heart, if your intention was to play me or make me feel some kind of way, then I just know how I need to deal with you moving forward. You know, I don't know what you could have been going through in that specific moment mentally. Like somebody could be battling anything in this world. Like they could have just had, a death in their family and they ain't thinking straight. So whatever you dealing with over there, I'm gonna need you to go take care of that. But that's not gonna dictate how I deal with people or how I interact with other people. Like my intentions were good and they were true. So whatever you got going on over there, I hope you figure it out, deal with it, and start treating people a lot better. But it's not gonna affect the way that I feel. It's not gonna affect the way that I maneuver through life. And that's just how I look at things. Like I don't, and I hope y'all don't mind me cussing because I get the cussing and I'm
oh,
starting to feel it.
that's all good. Be
I'm
you,
starting
be
to feel that's
yourself.
where it's coming.
Be,
I'm trying to avoid it so I can stay, but yeah,
yeah,
I like to cuss.
yeah.
You might.
Go ahead. Be yourself. Be you. You know. So you a host. You know, I'm a good host. You know, you're my guest. Go ahead. You know, be free.
Okay, cool. Let me get that out first. Shit.
Yeah, you know, because I can admit, there was some friendships that I had destroyed because I was going through my little situations and stuff, but it was just like no one wasn't aware of it. It wasn't like it
Mhm.
wasn't a secret, but it was just people that was just trying to make me feel like shouldn't have been hurt or I shouldn't have been in pain and stuff like that. Like, because I'm always the guy that's smiling and stuff. I got
Mhm.
criticized for smiling too much. And when I wasn't smiling so much, it still was a problem. So I couldn't win from losing. But it just got to the point where um, I have so much pressure on me on a daily basis because I'm my mama's last son, was surviving son. And regardless of her putting pressure on me, it's there, you know, because I saw the effects and the aftermath of burying my brother. So I didn't want to put my mama through that again. And then the fear of that had made me like I gotta get my shit together. I gotta grow up. Like whatever I did last week, I can't do that no more. And then a lot of people just was kind of like, man, you need to get your mind off that. And I'm like, mind off that? Like, motherfucker, this is something I'm gonna have to deal with for the rest of my life. Like, ain't no getting over it. You know what I'm saying? It's just you figure out ways to deal with it. But
Mhm.
now I'm dealing with it in a healthy situation because
Mhm.
I was just really um self-destructing. Like
Yeah.
just every year, I felt like I was getting worse before I was getting better. But
Mhm.
it took somebody who wasn't related to me to sit me down and just really talk to me and just ask me, like, do you want this to be the last chapter of your life?
Yep.
And I was like, no, but I don't know what to do. Well,
Mhm.
one day it's going to come, but you got to really want it for yourself. You got to really ask the right questions because right
Right.
now you getting the wrong results and stuff because you're not asking the right questions.
Mhm.
And I just think just when it comes to our people in general, you know, we don't really know how to grieve. We condition to just deal with whatever comes, but sometimes we really need the awareness of grief and finding healthier coping mechanisms, better
Yep.
better praying circles, better support
Support
because
system.
yeah.
And yeah. But what I'll tell you one, there is no correct way to grieve. You have to feel what you feel. You have to process things the way that you need to process them in order to get to where you need to be at. Because the one thing about grief and trauma, it changes you as a person. So when you experience those things like that, grief and trauma, and you lose people that you love, people that were close to you, it's going to change you. That's what it does to you. So now you just have to figure out, who do you want to be from there? Where do you go from there? And then you figure out better ways to cope and deal with that, because even, someone can have passed years ago and that'll still be hurtful to you because of the experiences that you shared, the time that you had. You miss that. You miss having whoever this person was with you, and you miss having those experiences with them. So that's going to be painful no matter what. But you still have to continue to grow. You still have to be the person that you want to be moving forward. You can't let it go. You can't. And you, like you said, you have to find better ways to cope with that.
Yeah, because I can admit, and again, it just I can admit when that first happened, I was just pretty much holding myself back. It was a fear of growing up. It was a fear of that because I was young. I wasn't young, but I was young. I was like 27, but I was kind of like content where my life was at the time. I didn't see myself branching off into where I'm at now. So I think about that every day. Like, damn, like if I haven't experienced that, where would I be? I would have probably missed a lot of opportunities. I probably
Mm-hmm.
would not be so strong than I am now because I'm very assertive. Because I used to be a pushover a little bit. I was just too nice. I didn't want to say no. I just let people
Mm-hmm.
walk over me because I wanted to be accepted. But now I'm just like, okay, want to go?
You
Deuce.
yourself, and you found your voice, and you're confident and comfortable with who you are, and that's what's important. When you find out who you are and you love yourself for who you are, then what other people do and say to you, it's not gonna affect you. Even if it might be like, damn, that was fucked up that you said that. It's not. It's not gonna change who you are, because you know who you are,
Hmm.
and you love yourself. And when you can do that, ain't nothing nobody else can say to you that's gonna change it.
I
And
agree.
so when you just gotta find your voice and be confident in who you are. And when you do that, ain't nothing nobody can stop you. You gotta walk in your purpose. When you find what your purpose are, and it's not just one purpose. You can have many purposes on this earth.
Hmm.
But when you find that one that keeps you to where you go, that drives you, that makes you want to be a better person, that makes you want to grow, that makes you want to succeed in life, that's when you run off with it and be like, fuck what y'all got to say. I don't care. Fuck you said I can't have my podcast. You know what? I'm on episode 50, what? 54?
Yeah,
53?
54.
Fuck yeah. I did. I did this, like, and I see the same thing. Like, even we be self-critical of ourselves as well. Like for me, when I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I'm like, I ain't never going back to school. I ain't doing that. But then you get into your field, and you figure out that certain things just aren't for you. And then, like, I really had to sit back. Like, I had went through a really, really trying time at one point in time, where I just did not, I was so unhappy with everything that was going on in my life. And I really had to, I thought I was going crazy. I don't know why I'm telling y'all this, but I thought I was going like crazy, crazy. And I had to go see a therapist. Like, I was ready to quit everything and everybody and all of that. And I had to go see my therapist, and she one that brought me back to, she was like, well, why aren't you doing this? And you know, she really raised and asked questions about myself that made me be like, well, why am I doing this? Like, you know, so it brought me to a place where I even said, like, you know what? I think this is what I need to be doing. Like all my life, you know, I communicate with people. People come talk to me. They feel free and open to talk to me. I mean, just random people. I can be in the grocery store and like they telling me somebody, you know, something about their grandparent just passed away, like things, you know, just really personal stuff you shouldn't probably be telling random strangers on the street. But you know, you have that communication with people that make them feel open and want to talk to you and speak with you. And when my therapist said that to me, she was like, why aren't you one? And I was like, I don't know. Why aren't I was like, and that really triggered something in me. It was like, you know, I do. And I knew my entire purpose on this earth was so, and I know this is unpopular opinion for a lot of people, or I won't say unpopular opinion, but you know, I think I have three purposes on this earth. It's to be a mother, I'm supposed to be a wife, and I'm supposed to help people. I think those are my three purposes on this earth. And when it comes to helping people, I just didn't know exactly how I was supposed to do that. You know, I was trying different ways. I didn't know if I want to if I wanted to do a daycare. I didn't know if I wanted to be a teacher. Like I started the little program to even be a teacher, and I was like, no. Nah. And then we did at my current position that I'm at now, we were doing mentoring at a middle school, you know, a inner city middle school where it's a lot of troubled students. And this was before the whole therapy thing and everything. And we were going there and helping and talking to the kids and just seeing like how a lot of the kids were disturbed. They were having a lot of different issues happening in their lives. And I'm like, how do we stop these kids from going and being in the place where we're going to see them go? You know, like, how do we stop this? Some of them, like, he's like, I don't come to school because I got to help my dad. One was like, you know, I don't really care about school. They wanted to be in a gang. That was their goal. Like, I'm like, how do we stop this before then? And I talked to one of my old coworkers who happened to be a therapist as well. And I was telling him, like, you know, I'm thinking about this. And I was like, but maybe I'll go be a school counselor. I want to do something with the kids and all this other stuff. And he's like, well, if you want to really help, you need to get your LPC, which is licensed professional counselor. If you really want to help people on an individual level, because working at a school, being a school counselor, being teachers, you have limitations on how you can really truly help. There's a lot of red tape, and with all the things that's going on in the world about, you know, teachers, students, crap like that, like I'm like, yeah, no, you want to be able to get to what's really going on and really help people in a place before they get to that I'm going to be a gang, I want to go kill people, I want to steal, I want to rob, or I want to drop out of school and I don't want to do anything else with my life. So all of that brought me to where I'm at today, where with being in the LPC program and having 6 classes left before I quit. I just want to help.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you, what made you wanted to get it into like the teaching thing, you know, which is, you know, continuing on with your education, because I know it's stressful. Like, you know, everybody, because I would say like as far as like trade school,
Mm-hmm.
I was better with just, you know, working with my hands than actually
Mm-hmm.
sitting down and just reading, because I can grasp just doing stuff with my hands and being actively involved and stuff like that. So, um, did you know like you wanted to do this at an early age, or was it to
And
like a
hell no, I wanted to be everything. Like I wanted to be a little bit of everything. So I like, okay, so when you're an athlete, like, you know, I played basketball at a young age, I ran track at a young age. So when you're an athlete and a true athlete, you think you like a super athlete and you can do pretty much anything you want to do. You don't care what nobody else say. So I was like, I want to do this. I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to be a pediatrician. I wanted to do mechanical engineering. Like, I was all over the place and trying to determine what I wanted to do. I wanted to make money. I wanted to help people. I was all over the place. So, really, how I ended up in human resources and getting my undergrad in human resource management was just the circumstances at the time. Like, I was working at Delphi at the plant, and they were doing buyouts and, you know, doing the giving out severance packages for people to go ahead and leave and quit working because they were downsizing. And so at that time, you know, I had just came back or was short, like around maternity leave and everything, and was on the verge of getting my ass fired. So I was like, you know, maybe I'll go ahead and accept this severance package, because they also paid for you to go to school and go back to school completely free, and you got unemployment. So I was like, why wouldn't I just go ahead and jump into that? But they only had certain programs that you could get into that they would actually pay for. And so of all the programs that they had available, human resources was the only one that I, you know, like, okay, I can probably help people, you know, get into the community, help Black people, you know, help our people start writing resumes, you know, getting employment, getting jobs. I thought it was going to be like, I graduate, I got this human resource job. Where my people at? Let's get us some jobs. Let's get us growing. Let's get this resume together. Let's get all of this stuff together. Let's do some interview techniques. Like, that's how I thought it was going to be. It was so far from that. Like, I had my degree for a little over 3 years, and I still couldn't find a job in human resources. And the one job, like, I had in my internship, and they wanted me to work for 40 hours a week at $0. And so I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work. So yeah, so I did the internship. I worked out with I only did a certain amount of hours a day for my internship. And so I did that, and then ended up leaving, and then shortly after that, I just ended up moving to Texas. And my first day moving here, I had an interview, and I got the job the next day and started that Monday. So that's how I got into human resources. And then, you know, when you really get to working into that career field or whatever, and you see how things really are on the inside, and how embedded racism and all that other stuff is in that system, it really takes a toll on you. And, you know, when you start to hate what you do because there's no amount of change that you can make to rectify what's going on, it makes you not want to do that anymore. And I knew when I got to that point, like, I had to do something different where I could really help people. And so I just tried to figure out different ways of what I could really do to get to. And I you know, I guess, you know, died about it. I, you know, thought about where I was at, you know, in my life. I took in what my therapist was saying at the time. I took in, like, all the previous past situations that I had with people that, you know, come talk to me, helping people through their grieving processes of losing loved ones, because my outtake on death is a little bit different. Not so much since my own uncle passed away. I've actually had quite a few family members pass away in the last couple months. But, you know, when you go through that process, my outlook on death was just a little bit different than how other people would probably look at it. Like, death doesn't scare me. Death isn't like the end all be all for me. Like, when one dies, I just, you know, like, we gotta die. Like, everybody has to live, everybody has to die. You know, so that's not the horrible thing. The thing you miss most in death is the memories that you share with that person. And that's what makes death hurts the worst. is that you no longer get to create those memories. You never longer get to have those good times that you had with those people. And that's what hurts the worst about death. And so, you know, going through that grieving process with other people, that's what that helped me realize. And, but when it really, really hits home, it really takes a toll on your mental.
Mm-hmm.
Really takes a toll on your mental when you experience death of someone that's so close to you, someone that you loved, and then when you're getting it back to back. Because like my uncle, one uncle passed in October, my cousin passed in January, and then that very next month my other uncle passed away. And so, you know, dealing with that, I think if it was just one, I probably would have been able to cope with it a little bit better. But dealing with all of them back to back to back like that, it really took me to a really, really dark place. And so I'm learning through personal experience, which I think will actually help me be a more effective therapist when I finally graduate, is experiencing that and understanding that, you know, um, there are levels to grief. There are levels to being able to cope with some things. And sometimes you literally just lose your fucking mind because shit just won't stop happening, shit won't stop coming, and you lose your mind. Sometimes you will have to take a step back. Life will make you take a step back and say, you need to reevaluate what the hell is going on right now so that you can really live for you and be happy with yourself and be able to just tolerate life a little bit differently than the way that you have been in the past.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I would say, just from my experience, I think I learned the most of just what happened to me. I felt like I learned a lot. And I thought that the people around me learned as well. But a lot of people stayed the same. And
Mm-hmm.
but I realized that, because I don't want to sound like no asshole, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just everybody always asks, like, so how was you and your brother relationship? And I tell people all the time, like he was a selfish, conniving, egotistical scumbag that I have ever known in my life. Like that nigga still owe me money. Like I couldn't stand his ass, but you know, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, how could you say such a thing?" And I just like,
It's real. It's
to
the
me,
truth.
like, cause I would say, like it was times that um he was there for me, like when I was homeless and stuff like that. I used to stay with him, and when I was staying with him, that was like the only time we actually spent so much time together and we really interacted and got to, really,
Mm-hmm.
to know each other. But um, the last 3 years of his life, we weren't close. You know, we kind of had our little. It wasn't no beef, but I had to cut ties with him. But um, I felt so bad when he did die because it was like before I even got the news, I was missing my big brother. Like, you know, I was just like, man, this is petty. We went on too long without speaking and seeing each other, and I love him, you know, and then he died,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to kill and beat myself about that every day. I used to be like, damn, like why I have to be so stubborn, and but then I realized like I'm human, you know. At the end of the day, like everybody, you know, have those reasons why they don't apologize quick, you know, because we want to be right sometimes, you know, and we don't want to be the bigger person sometimes. But it's just nobody knows what happens next. You know, you just feel like, you know, I feel like I was wrong and I feel like I need an apology, you know, but that's just everybody. But I learned that um, it was just his destiny. And regardless of if you grow up with somebody you know, with your siblings, with your parents, and even, you know, getting older with your children. We all have a different destiny. We all have a different path. We all have a different purpose to fulfill. And
Mm-hmm.
and that was his purpose for me
Yeah.
to see that life is too short. Quit bullshitting, quit playing, take every day seriously like it's your last. So
You have to speak how you feel. You have to operate in how you feel. And what I mean by that is like, like with your brother, like you said you missed him, you know, sometimes you have to put aside, well, he did me wrong, so he got to do this for me. Like sometimes you have to put that aside, just moving forward in life, and be like, you know what? We had a bad situation, but I missed the fuck out of you, and I need this, and from that, and you just go from there. Sometimes we as human, we harbor onto those negative feelings, and that's what create that bitterness, that anger, and all that other stuff inside of you. And I don't like all that. I don't like walking around feeling negative and feeling angry and feeling bitter. Like, you do something to me, okay, you know what? You did that shit. But you know what? Whatever. Whatever. I just know how to deal with you moving forward. But if I know you're somebody that I love, you my family member, you my friend, somebody that I respected, somebody that I love, somebody that, that's gonna that help bring me to where I am in life, I won't dismiss you. I can't dismiss the people that I love, no matter how bad I feel about what they may have done to me or what they may have said to me. I can't dismiss them, because one moment shouldn't dictate the way that an entire lifetime has been. One moment shouldn't do that.
absolutely.
It let that happen, but you shouldn't let that do that to you, because one moment, I mean, you think about how you can have a bad day and somebody come over to you and be like something, you really not a bad evil person, but you just in a mood where you're not really like, man, fuck that shit, like you don't really feel that way, but like, fuck you, like, go get out of my face. But you don't really feel like, and then, a couple hours later, like, man, that was kind of fucked up. But you too prideful to say, like, damn, that was kind of messed up. And you just messed up an entire relationship from one moment in time. So sometimes you just have to don't let that one moment define the way that relationships go in your life. Talk about it. If somebody did something that hurt you, talk that shit out. Don't just go like, I'm dismissing you. We too quick to cancel people in our lives.
Hmm.
We're too quick to do that. And it could just be a moment of bad times, a moment of hurt, a moment of anguish, a moment of, you could be having some kind of mental health issue breakdown going on in your life. And you encounter somebody at the wrong time, wrong place. And you let that one moment define everything that's going on in your life. And this could be somebody that could add so much fruit, so much life, so much goodness to your life, but you let that one moment define the way that your life goes with them. And I don't think people should do that.
Yeah, I'm like, in all fairness, I'm not the type of person where I just cut you off just immediately. If anything, I always analyze the situation. Um, I just try to be very fair, but I be very stern and always put everything out in the beginning. Like the terms and conditions of the friendship, the relationship, friend, just a little bit of everything. But I just always try to give people opportunities because I don't care about your past. It's that pattern, you know.
Yep, there we go.
It's that
There
pattern, like,
we
because I could be difficult to deal with sometimes I'm so because I'm so spoiled. I don't try to be, but it's not like I want it, I want it, I want it, but
You want what?
it's just I demand my respect because for example, I really hate when I get called a nigga. I hate that. So I tell people, don't call me that. And they're like, why not, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with you? You know? And I was like, so many people went to their grave hearing that word. And I'm not that. If anything, I'm a man because of the fact, like, I take care of myself. I work, I provide, you know, I do this, I do that. So technically, I'm not no nigga, and definitely ain't trying to be no real nigga. You know, if anything, I'm a man, you know, because I've had to fight to become one, because I didn't have no one to teach me how to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't
And
stop me to
that
becoming one. But it's just
you like me right now because I use the word nigga. I'm like nigga, but not in a derogatory way. I mean, I know we should need to get rid of that word altogether, but like you can't do nothing respect but somebody that feels that way. So when you put that up front and say, you know what, I don't fuck with that word. So please try not to use that when addressing me. You can't do nothing but respect that because it does come from a horrible place. It does come from a derogatory place. So to understand that another black man doesn't want to be addressed as that, you can't do nothing but respect that. You can't do nothing but respect that.
no.
So,
I hate that, and then I hate being lied to. You know, and I also hate being gaslighted. I hate being manipulated. You know, well, people be trying to manipulate me, but I pick on certain signs and stuff because if anything, if we're friends, if if we are close and this and that, just be honest with me. Be real. Whether if it hurts
mm-hmm,
my feelings or not, I don't condone anybody having to lie to me because you know you tell one lie, you gotta tell five
another.
more or 10 more to keep up with that first one when all you have to do is just keep it real with me and be honest. You know, you can't tell me anything that I haven't heard before. So, but it's just those things. And I just try to stay away from certain drama and certain um, bad behavior because I'm just trying to be somebody in life. You know, I just trying to be one of those success stories that like a kid who going through the stuff that we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
and just to make sure that if they see me, you know, like on a big screen or just on a huge platform or network, and they be like, "Wow, he made it, so I can make it," and
Mm-hmm.
that's just the main objective of the show. You know, I didn't start this show for attention or clout or anything like that. So, telling and showcasing everybody that you can be what you want. Because I felt like almost died from my situation. And I just, a prime example of God is real. Because God was the only person that didn't abandon me. He never left my side. He was always next to me. Because a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
we don't think God hear our prayers or answer our prayers, but God is working. Even while we stay put, God's working. God be like, okay, well, this friend left him. I'm gonna bring him this person, or I'm gonna bring her this person, or I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
make sure that they get their stimulus or they get these benefits for a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
we got to put it in the work too.
Yeah, you can't ask for favor and not put in the work. That's one thing I believe. I do believe that God, places people and puts you in situations. Uh, Everything happens for a reason.
Hmm.
That's what I truly believe. Every situation, every encounter, every experience, every person you may across, all of that happens for a reason. And I believe the people that's a part of your life are there for reasons, seasons, and lifetimes. And the people, and you can't get mad at the people that are reasons and seasons because they serve their purpose once they're gone. And so, you can't be mad at that. Like, people get into relationships and be like, oh, f that person. Like, I don't wish bad on nobody that I've had previous experiences with. I don't want see nobody doing bad. I don't want to see like, just because our time is up, like you served your purpose. Like I've learned what I needed to learn from this situation, and now I can take that and go and be a better person because of it. Maybe you taught me, or I had this experience with you about certain situations or certain thought processes, so that when I encounter the people that I'm supposed to encounter that's going to take me to that next level, I'm ready. I'm prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
So why I'm being mad at somebody that helped me grow, whether they wanted to or not, I ain't mad at you. I want to see you do the same thing. I want to see you grow too. Like that's what we're supposed to do as humans. We're supposed to grow. We're here to love each other, support each other, and grow as people, and teach those that's coming beneath us how to do the exact same thing. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we put on this earth for. We're supposed to be here supportive, loving each other, being there for each other, teaching each other stuff.
No
And when we
doubt.
know we don't do in that situation, it's time to go do that next thing with the next person and take those gifts and pass it along.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Because if anything, I would say that I learned just so much these past 6 years, just about me and about what I need and what to expect from certain people. Because I've never been bitter. If anything, I always been prepared. I always been humble. I always been thankful for the things that I have to endure because it just allows me to be able to easily detect um, just low frequency levels in people. And we like to give people the benefit of the doubt too much. We like to not judge a book by its cover, but sometimes the book is the cover.
Or maybe, just maybe, you encountered that person so you'll know what it looks like moving forward. So
Hmm.
maybe the cover is what the cover is. Learn something from that. What
Oh,
you learn from the situation,
yeah.
what you learn from the encounter. So I take every experience as a lesson.
Hmm.
Every experience that I have is a lesson for me. So maybe that person is what they is because that's where they at in their journey in life. They ain't at the place where they elevate and feel the way that you and I feel about encounters with people or how we deal with people. But they're gonna have to experience something in their life that's gonna take them to that level of growth. So I'm not gonna dismiss you as a person. I just know that you can't go where I'm growing.
Absolutely.
And so maybe, just maybe, they might be that covered because that's where they at in life. But you might see them 6 months from now and they like, you know what, that was kind of fucked up what I did to you, but I'm in a much better place now. And I ain't that same person I was yesterday. I ain't that same person I was a minute ago. And it was because of the situation I experienced with you. So, judging books by its covers don't mean that you're going to remain the same. There's plenty pages. You turn the page, it's a different page with different writing, different things, different endings, different beginnings.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's still some people that still see me as that little boy or that teenager or that young adult, and I'm a totally different person now. And they just be flabbergasted because of of what I'm doing with my life and stuff. Because a lot of my old teachers came to my job, working well, because I cooked for them a couple times,
Give
and
me that jello. Oh, I was like, I ain't gonna forget that. I'm never gonna forget you giving me that. When I was in there with Shania, my baby girl, you brought me them extra jello. That fool. I was like,
I was just playing. Nah, but yeah, like, but I would say like that job saved my life.
mm-hmm.
Even though it has its pros and its cons and this and that, but that job really gave me a gateway to just know what independence feel like. Cause I ain't think I was gonna ever work. Be honest with you, I thought I was gonna be another statistic, but because I was just trying, and it's the thing. Like a lot of us young black males, they think we just be out here loitering outside of liquor stores and shooting dice and drinking and smoking all the time. Like it's a lot of us that's trying, and I lucked out because I didn't really have a work history like that. But I would say like my interview when I first got there, and she was like, "Give me a good reason why I should hire you." And I just pretty much told her like I went through a lot of hell these past just this year alone, just being um I had a broken neck, I had a concussion and stuff, and when I was going to Job Corps, and I had to get sent home by myself for 6 months to heal. And then when I got well and everything like that, um, I had to really learn how to, what I'm saying, put my clothes on and stuff like that. So when I was able to go back to Job Corps, sure, I rode on the bus for 20 hours back to St. Louis, Missouri. But when I got there, I had a newfound appreciation for the program because even though I graduated high school and this and that, I was just homeless. So I was able to go there because at first when I was going there, I didn't appreciate it. I was fighting and going to anger management class, and I was just angry. For the first few months there, I was just angry and stuff. I had a chip on my shoulder because I felt like nobody cared about me at the time. Like people washed their hands with me. It was just like, you becoming a liability. Um, we can't keep, carrying you. You're gonna have to go. And that's like the most hurtful feeling when you're young, and you don't have a father in your life and this and that. You really don't really know how to navigate in society like that. So you're just going through bouncing from place to place, and you wake up, you hear your relatives talking about you, talking about he gonna have to go. So I was really dealing with a lot at that time. So when I was at my job interview, I told my manager all of that. And I told her even after I finished Job Corps, so many people was just telling me no, was telling me, oh, we'll call you and stuff like that, or you can always reapply. But I was just determined that I was going to get that job. I was determined that this was going to be the last time that I heard the word no from somebody. So I really just poured it all, gave it everything I got. And I've been there 11 years later.
That's what's up.
You know, started
All right.
dishes and shit, man. I was like I started washing dishes and now I'm a cook.
What you need me to do? I just need this opportunity. That's what's up. And that's the only part like about working in human resources from that brings me some joy sometimes because you do get the opportunity to really help people and talk to them and educate them about even being employed and I like to talk to especially women because in the workforce where we don't fight for ourselves enough
Hmm.
for our pay for our value for what we feel like we're worth. We don't do that. So I do like when I'm talking to other women and my friends or whoever else when we're talking about yeah they want to do another job. I'm like you always ask for what you're worth. Don't undersell yourself. Don't and just be honest. Like they either want like a company. I feel, and this is my personal opinion that you add value to a company. They need you, and your personality and what your skills and your experience and the things that you have bring value to that organization. Without you, they don't have nothing. And so you fight for what you feel you deserve, and you fight for what you're worth. whether that's with pay or a different position or anything. You just have to go out there and put it out there and show what you're worth and ask for what you're worth. And I always say that, especially women, because they'll be like, so like for example, we had an employee. This is in my old position. Um, my old position. um, my old job. It was a lady, and she wanted to make. They were offering that she wanted to make 18 an hour, and they wanted to offer her like 16. And she came to me and she was like, you know, I I really don't want to not accept this position, but I have to make at least this amount so that I can keep up with my living or whatever. And she's like, but I don't want to say nothing because I don't want them to not hire me because of this XYZ, you know, because of I want more, because I need more. And I'm like, all right, I'm taking off my HR hat and I'm putting on my woman, I'm about to support you. And I got your back hat. And I did that so backwards. But I took,
You so did.
but you know, I put that back on and I'm like, just ask for what you feel you deserve. The worst that they can say is no. And if they choose to go in a different direction, then you know what? That position might not have been for you. You might be, you might not get this position because you know what? And it's so many places where I see that the people, they turn this job down because they were offered a position that was $5, $10, $15 more than what they were making, you know, or what they thought they were going to get at one position. So you can't undersell yourself just because you feel like you're in a desperate place to get what you need. Like you have to be your own cheerleader. You got to believe in yourself first, and you have to know your worth first before anybody else know what you're worth,
Yeah.
or even know that you're worthy. You have to know that. You have to set that tone for yourself. And so when you walk into a place and you know this is what you want, or you believe that this is where you're supposed to be, you go be exactly who you are. You go ask for exactly what you want. You go and you tell them exactly what you need. And if they don't want to meet that, even if you are in a place where you feel like I need any or everything or need anything, you have to set the tone for your worth, or they're going to continue to treat you the way that you walked into that place at. You have to set that tone. And when you walked up into that office and said, you know what, this is where I'm at, but this is where I come from, this is what I faced in life, that was a bold move. But you see where it got you.
Hmm. Yeah.
How you have to maneuver through life. You can't accept nothing less than what you know you're worth. And that's how you got to maneuver. And that's in the workforce, that's in life, relationships, friendships, anything like that. You just have to know who you are, what you're worth, and you have to make other people believe that so that they'll want to treat you the way that you feel that you're what you're worth of, worthy of. There we go. So that kudos to you for walking into that place and being vulnerable like that, because even for some places they don't want to hear all that. Some places that could backfire on you, but that's your purpose, and that's you went in there with who you were and what your life story was, and it got you to where you wanted to be, where you needed to be.
Yeah. And it's amazing because my mom was already working there um, years prior. So they already knew my mother and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just like, okay, well, we know your mom and she always speaks highly of you, and but I did it on my own, but they just was telling me of the fact like my mom was um like one of the head housekeepers at Cooper at the time. So they knew who she was, and she ran that fifth floor, and I just always wanted to just even if it wasn't there, like anywhere that I have ever worked, I always gave it my all. Always gave it like, because I'm a big fan of work ethic and earning it, for yourself and never expecting a handout or expecting any shortcuts in life. I always worked because life is work. And I just mainly, like, my best project has been with me, just growing and just gaining nothing but confidence in myself. And it just feels good to be a boss when you off the clock. And me doing this show, you know, they treat me so different now. It's so funny, like, because I'll be like, hey, how you doing? And they be like, hey, CEO, hey, boss and everything. I'm like, oh, I'm all right, but I always just try to make it seem like, I still have a lot of work to do. I still have a lot of improvements to do. I don't, even though I feel like, and I carry myself like I made it, but
Mm-hmm.
I still have a lot of work to do. But
Yeah, that
it's
was
just,
my question.
uh-huh.
I said that was gonna be my question. Like, do you feel that because the confidence you carry within yourself now is the reason why people approach you a lot differently? Because like I said earlier, I'm like, confidence is the key. When you have that, people are gonna, you know, they talk to you, they treat you different, they treat you how yourself. And so, do you feel like your confidence in yourself, because when that grew, people respected you a little bit more?
I would say that well, the energy and the vibrations attract more people to me than it has, because it was just people who met me when I was going through that dark place in my life, so that they didn't get a chance to see the person that I am now or the person before all that. But I just believe that it took for me to, change my forecast up here, and just now everybody see the best of me now. And
Mm-hmm.
but they're just like, man, like, you know, like, we see the growth, we see the potential, and you got it, and this and that. And but I just also give people the reality of it is that, I just treat this like I want this to be my main income. No matter how many hours I work a day, I could be dead tired, I could be about to pass out. I treat this like it's my main income because I'm planning on this to be my main income someday. And I can leave this to my, whenever I have some kids. I want one of my kids to have this show, or my nephew or my godson to just want this to, continue on. So that's how I treat it, because really everything that we watch, everything that we buy, it started all, well, just the idea of those particular products or those particular corporations and this and that started in a small room.
Mm-hmm.
Apple started in a garage.
Did you see that Amazon thing though? Like, he had that little room with all those packages everywhere.
Hmm.
It was like, now look at where it's at. Like, it does.
Yeah.
It does. But it also starts here. It starts with the thought process, and then it incorporates and moves through your hands, the works that you put into it. And then when you stay faithful and fruitful and building in the things that you want to accomplish, then you start to see your work. You do that, but it start here first. And you got to be serious. You got to be real with what's going on up here before then you'll want to do that. Use those hands to make it happen.
Hmm.
People that's going to believe in you, the people that really support you, the people that need what you have to provide, they going to come. But it starts here, and it got to be here. These two work hand in hand. A dream without works is nothing.
Uh,
Nothing but a dream. You might as well stay asleep.
Oh, I can agree, and it's so funny because um I didn't want to start this show without everyone joining in the journey with me. Cause I'll be in my living room, like, cause when I do make it, get those trolls on the internet, be like, oh, um, he didn't, have no humble beginnings. Oh, he didn't do this and that. So all my fans and all my supporters who watch me from episode one
Mm-hmm.
can tell them like, no, he started from the living room like it was ghetto fabulous. There was no
Oh,
script. He was saying light
can't even,
and oh too much, but I just want everyone to follow me on this on my quest.
yes,
You know,
fuck them people. That goes against anything that you believe in or you desire. Fuck them people. They don't mean they ain't. What you gonna do? I mean, they still watching either way because how you know about what I got going on unless you're watching?
oh they watching. They may not like and comment, but they watching. You know, my
And
stories. It's so crazy. Like if I could screenshot my stories be like 100 or 200 a day. It's just
mm-hmm.
people watching, and I love it. I'll be like, man, like I'm the best showmanship. I always give good sportsmanship. All that other stuff, but it just means a lot to me that I gave a lot of people their first interviews. I treated them like they was celebrities because a lot of people, whoever came on my show, a lot of them felt like that. What do I have to offer? What do I have to tell? And what's so special about me? Why should you reach
Exactly.
out to me? And I just paid attention. I always sit back and watch and stuff, and I can decipher like, okay, this person interesting, or they have a story, or
Mm-hmm.
but it's just everyone be so skeptical because um of just the the purpose and then the motive behind it. But if anything, it's just best to get it out, and just don't have certain things just harbor in you. And because I feel like if I done something, yeah, yeah, and
There.
but I just always I just always try to reciprocate because again, somebody who wasn't related to me when I still had my mom, my dad, and my sister, it was like I knew that it wasn't going to be somebody that I knew who was going to deliver me. It took a stranger to deliver me out of that pain and misery that I was facing. But
Got people in your life for a reason.
mm-hmm, absolutely. So I just wanted to reciprocate that. I always wanted to just pass it on and just give it um give it more nutrients into the root and everything because we need to begin to do that. We need to be there for each other, but some people you just can't save, and I learned that too.
Everybody needs therapy. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Hmm.
Everybody needs a little form of therapy, especially growing up in the Black community. And the things that we have to see, the things that we have to witness, the things that we experience personally, whether it be ourselves individually or friends or family members that we have, we don't always have that outlet to talk about what we've experienced. We don't always have that outlet to really be genuine about what we really feel inside, for fear that people are gonna judge us, or be like, man, something wrong with you or whatever. But you have to be true to what you really feel, and just and trust that what you feel is supposed to take you to that next place. Like it's okay. Like you could be in the most fucked up place, and that's okay. It's okay to have those fucked up feelings. It's okay to have those messed up thoughts. It's okay to been in really bad situations. It's okay. It's not okay. I mean, it's not okay that you may have experienced those certain things, but it's okay, and it's okay to live in what you feel. but you just still have to grow through that. And sometimes you need to talk about that. It's people that's been in this world that have been abused, been raped, been all of that, and they hold that stuff inside. And it's not okay that they had to experience it, but it's okay that you mad that shit happened to you. It's okay that you hate that this stuff happened to you. It's okay that you suffer from PTSD from this shit happened to you. And now you have to talk to somebody that help you process what you really felt and let you know that what the things that you've experienced and things that you feel, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. This not abnormal. What happened to you, that was fucked up. But this is normal for you to feel this way. Now let's help you figure out a better way to deal with that. And you need to talk to people. I know a lot of people always say, just give it to God. And yes, you give it to God, but we need human interaction. We need human acceptance. We need human love to feel normal. We can give it to God. We can pray to God, but we need each other. We need each other to hear us out, to know that what we going through ain't as fucked up as we making it, as it feels on the inside. Because you're not the only one. Somebody else may have experienced something similar. And although the situation may be unique to you, somebody may have experienced something just a little bit different, but very similar, and can either understand, empathize with what you're going through. Because sympathy and empathy is two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different things. Anybody can sympathize, but to empathize, it brings a deeper connection.
Right.
And so when you do that, and you have that ability to talk to somebody who can be open, who can be understanding, who can, sit with you and give you that freedom to really just live in what it is that you're feeling, that's something completely different. And even, you can talk to your friends and your family, but you think about how you really feel on the inside. Sometimes you hold back with the things that you really want to say for fear that, like, okay, they know me a little too much and I don't want them to use that against me. But when you talking to somebody who's like, I want to know about, that's going to be all about you. I want to know about you. Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what you experience. Tell me what it is that you going through. Tell me what bothers you. Tell me what hurts you. Tell me what makes you happy. And when you can get somebody that you can talk to that freely, that should bring about a different energy, a different outlook on life, because you're no longer hiding who you really are on the inside. And I think that everybody needs to go through therapy at least once with a good therapist, because you can experience somebody that's pretty bad and they don't fit your, I won't even say bad, they just don't fit your style of life, they don't fit your culture, they don't fit what you went through. And so you just have to find somebody else that can understand. That's why I like to I'm not technically supposed to say this, but when I see a therapist, I want a black woman. I want to see me a black woman that's going to help me, that's going to identify with what the struggles that I feel as a black woman. Because talking to somebody else, you have to really explain, like, this is what I feel. Even like you take what's going on in society right now. They're like, oh, I see this with the stuff that happened with George Floyd. Explain to me how we can make this better. I shouldn't have to explain that shit to you. I shouldn't have to explain that shit to you. And that's how that worked in therapy. Like, I don't want to have to explain why this shit make me feel this way. You should just know. And then I can go into what I'm really feeling. Because I don't have to explain to you what the real issue here is at hand. So when you talk to people, you just make sure you get somebody that can identify with your culture, that can identify with your experiences, and then, talk you through these things. And that'll open your mind up to a whole different level, a whole different perspective. Being able to really, truly talk about what you feel on the inside without reservation, without anything holding you back. That's a different type of freedom right there.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you this since you're a woman, you know. So, how do you feel when you see women? Well, let me rephrase that. When you see females say that, niggas ain't shit and I don't need no nigga, I can do this all by myself and this and that. Because to me,
Oh,
I had to ask that. I couldn't help it. But
I I made a post about that the other day. I don't like when women say that because I feel like, the even not in taking race out the picture, men and women are put here on this earth to coexist with each other. One cannot exist without the other. For a woman to say she don't need a man, but to say I want children, what sense does that make? Or for a man to be like, fuck these bitches, but you won't fuck a bitch. do that make sense to me? That don't make sense to me. Do that make sense to you? You can't say you don't need each other, but you need each other. That don't make sense. You'll never hear me say I don't need a man. You'll never hear me say that. I need a man for a million reasons, and I never intentionally treat a man with disrespect. I won't do it. And I don't want to be disrespected in return because we need each other. Whether protection, bearing children, all of that other stuff, we need each other. So why would you say you don't need it? Don't make sense to me. So no, you need a man. You need a man. That toy ain't gonna get you but so far. That little rose ain't gonna get you but so far.
man, they really hyping that rose up. Like me personally, I don't know how to be the perfect boyfriend because he don't exist. But
Mm-hmm.
I can only go by um my heart,
Mm-hmm.
and then because to me I feel like two heads is better than one. Like whatever I have to offer, and then whatever you have to offer, it's supposed to join as one. You're supposed to all come together. But
Mm-hmm.
but it just people be expecting way too much, and they have their expectations so high, and because I let everybody know, like whoever I deal with firsthand, it may be a lot of things that I don't know, but I will make an effort, and it's all about making an effort.
Yeah.
Because if you're the only one that's trying to make it work, or you just um trying to love, because a lot of people don't know how to love,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know themselves, so they're not gonna love you. And I had to learn a lot about myself, because I feel like being single is it's not a bad thing, because you learn so much about yourself when you are alone. You pretty
Mm-hmm.
much self elevating. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people like to treat being single as a death sentence or being in solitary confinement. But to
Mm-hmm.
me, I need to recharge. I need to be like, okay, I left this relationship alone. Let me work on myself so I can know what I can tolerate, what I won't tolerate. But
Mm-hmm.
but
And that's what
hmm
relationships are like. Everybody ain't gonna be for you.
hmm
Everybody ain't for you. And just because two people get together and try to build a relationship together, don't belong together. Again, that goes back to the reason, season, lifetime. Maybe that situation was brought together so y'all can learn that you need to know to move forward in the next relationship, or whatever situation you decide to move forward with. So that's one thing right there. Relationships are just, everybody ain't gonna be for you. And that's when you run into problems, when you're trying to force two situations together that ain't supposed to be. Like, that's like putting two magnets on the same side together. You're trying to force this shit together, but it just don't go. So that there's a different okay, I don't know. I don't know where that comment just came from, but okay.
Man, he played too much, man.
But two people, just because you want to be together or you think you should be together, that ain't always what it's supposed to be. And so that's the one thing right there. Then I forgot what I was gonna say about something, because you mentioned something earlier, and I was gonna make a comment to that.
No.
Then he said that, I'm like, what he talking about Brian McKnight?
Yeah, I mean, it just.
I'm so lonely. But you get that. You can be single for however long or whatever. But when the person is for you, you gonna know that. You gonna know that stuff, because the things about you that other people say you need, that's wrong or that needs to be changed, like that ain't gonna matter to them, because they're gonna love you and accept you for who you are and where you are. And that's what I believe that love is right there, is accepting exactly who they are in that moment. Can you accept this person who they are if they never change anything about themselves? And that's love to me. If you can say yes, if you say I want this person to be this and that, what you with me for if you don't like who I am? You want me to do this and act this way? No, you gonna love me for who I am in this moment. And then as we grow, I'll become a better person because of who we are together.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come out into this situation with me expecting me to be somebody completely different, leave me alone. Don't waste. That's how people operate. You could tell that you have to be with somebody that's genuine, somebody that knows who they are, because that's where they'll get you right there.
Mm-hmm.
Is people, they'll start off as somebody else, as one person, and then they end up somebody else. You got to be with somebody that knows who they are. Ain't gonna be that much change as you grow. Only thing that's gonna change the way that some things about the way they think, but it's not of a change they are and how they treat others. All that other. Nobody, if somebody loves you, they don't want you to be nobody other than you are.
I agree. And so, the $1 million question: what do you like in a man?
Hmm?
What do you like in a man?
Everything I said.
I mean, despite everything
A
that you said,
man, a
like,
funny man.
I'm funny. I don't know how to make balloon animals and throw pies in people's faces, but I'm joking. It's not about me. But
Mm-hmm.
like it was just something else. Because you are a mother and everything like that. So how did your children, just you know inspire you?
Oh, they inspire every single thing that I do, every thought, every move that I make, everything that I decide to do in this life. They're my inspiration for everything, because I don't want to fail them. I want them to see, like, even though I had them at a young age, I graduated, I made it out of high school, thank God. But 2 months later, I was pregnant with my oldest child, from high school. So, I had to go through a lot of different things just as a child. I was a child having a child. So, I just I didn't want them to look at it and be like, my mama just had me out of high school and she wasn't nothing. Like, everything that I did so that they can see that, My mom didn't give up. My mom, pushed and inspired me in ways. Like, she showed me something that I don't get to see out here in everyday life. And that's who inspired me. That's why I wanted to, do something with my life, whether it was education, or like getting the education, which is the path that I did take, but or going to vocational school, or getting a trade, or doing a business, or whatever it was. I just know that they couldn't see me sitting at home on my ass doing nothing. I knew that for a fact. I did not want to disappoint my children. I did not want to have to always be sacrificing one for the other for my children. I wanted to be able to give them the life that they deserve as children, and not have to worry about adult issues or taking care of me as an adult. I knew that's what I wanted. And so everything that I do is because of them.
You've done a wonderful job.
Thank you. Sometimes we moms be so hard on ourselves, though, because you could be giving the kids, working so hard. Like I said earlier, I was working a full-time job, working a part-time job at nighttime, and going to school full-time. And then my son plays football, my daughter runs track, my baby girls was in gymnastics. Like, I was everywhere trying to do all of that, and I did not want to let them down. I did not. And I was trying to be superwoman, because I just did not want to see them, just because I wasn't with their fathers, or I didn't have the hugest support system, which I do. My sisters and my mom and all of, they're amazing, and I probably wouldn't have made it this far without them. Like, my sister and my mom and my cousins that's like my sisters, like, if it wasn't for all of them, I wouldn't have been able to get to where I'm at now. And I'm not saying I'm anywhere, I'm still trying to finish school and get to where I want to be at. I got so many goals that I still want to accomplish in life. But my oldest daughter told me this, and she was like, she told me she was proud of me. And that I almost cried. Well, I did cry when she said that. I ain't gonna say almost. I did. Because she talked, and she was like, Mom, she's like, you sacrifice. She's 16. She's about to be 17 in June.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, Mom, I just want you to be happy. She's like, you done gave us your entire life since I've been here. She's like, I just want you to be happy. And so I was like, what the hell? Like, why is this coming from my 16-year-old child telling me this? She's like, I just want you, go do it, Mom. Go do that. You deserve it. And to hear that, you don't feel like you deserve this stuff, because you feel like you're not always doing what you could be doing, where you should be at this stage in life. But to hear your child tell you, nah, you good, Mama, that feels good. That's how you know you made it, when your kid tell you made it. That's how you know you did what you were supposed to do. And so I have to always remind myself and think that in my head, you all right, because your kids think you did all right, you all right.
Oh, that's sweet though. Yeah, because I still remember when I had, came to visit you, and all the nurses was just like, "Oh, congratulations" and stuff.
They thought you was the daddy.
I was like, "Whoa, whoa, no, no, no! I'm just a
I
friend."
forgot about that.
Yeah, I did it. It's still like a couple of them that still mention that. They're like, "Oh, how is that sweet little girl doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't seen her."
Daddy. Like, no, that's not my child.
But yeah, I just always just been a good dude. Just always knew that whenever was my time or whatever to uplift people, I knew that it was going to come. And like you said, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I'm grateful for, just having a platform, just, bringing people on, because we need to humanize each other. Because it's only so much that we can give off on just a status or a picture, but when we actually are able to communicate and have an interaction. I think it's beautiful. That's what humanity is about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when if everybody can think that way, life would be so much easier. Life would be so much easier if everybody just had that mind frame and that peace in their heart to just want to like I just want to live my life and love my friends and my family and stay to my goddamn business. If I could just do you everybody could think that way. Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Everybody be all right. But here we are. But if everybody just has their piece in their place, and I believe with what you're doing is a really good thing. I think it gives people like myself a little platform to talk about themselves when they normally wouldn't. Because I definitely am like, well, why you want to talk to me? Like, but it does, and it brings into perspective like the value that you do have on this earth and the value that you do have in other people's lives and like the impact that you can make on other people. And so when you do that, that helps. I mean, even if it's just that person, like the people that's watching may not even give a flying fuck. But that person you talking to, you probably just ignited something just that much more special inside of them to make them want to go harder, to drive harder, be better, live better, do better, whatever that is. And I think that's an amazing thing to have that footprint on somebody's life like that. So kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you. It's just amazing because I learned a little bit of everything from every guest that I had, and it just really changed my whole way of thinking and changed my whole perception of how things isn't always so bad, and I just believe me as a host. I learned a lot too. I soak up so much knowledge and I apply it to my daily life. So that's why you never really um, will see me in despair because I see some of my memories and I just shake my head sometimes. I'll be like, dang, I was so angry. Like, oh my gosh. Like, and I'm not disappointed because it was a process.
Mhm.
But it just means a lot to me when people come to me and they're like, "Man, you just so happy now, like you're back
Mhm.
and everything." And I tell people like, "Yes," and I'm
I'm
fighting.
backing up.
I'm back and I'm better than ever. But it's just, but you appreciate peace so much that you would do anything to keep it. So,
Mhm.
and
And
so
yeah,
that's
and
where I'm on.
that's how I feel. Somebody could be telling me like such and such don't like you. I like, okay.
That's their problem. I don't care. I'm sleeping good. They tossing and turning.
Like buddy over here, like, all right, you don't vibe with me, that's cool.
Mm,
That's all right. I vibe with me and that's all that matters, buddy. Okay? I like me. I love me. So I don't ain't nobody in this world but my kids got to love me and I wouldn't give a flying fuck.
mm. And not supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really happy that you came on, and I would love to have you back, and we can do this again sometime in the near future. I don't know how you availability is, but I just really enjoyed this.
Mm. Me too. I did. I did. But I thank you for inviting me on here. I appreciate you for that. Um, I would love to come back on again in the future.
Okay.
Um,
Well, just let me
just
know.
get with me offline and we can chit chat about that.
Yeah, just
All
yeah, just let me know. Yeah,
right.
I was just reading these comments. They crazy, but but yeah,
I don't see nothing.
they crazy. But yeah, I just want to say thank you again, and you have yourself a wonderful night.
All right, you too. And I'll talk to you later.
Okay, peace. Bye.